sake of time, we'll get going with the final presentation today. This is a presentation, the Joint Sounds Enable Progress presentation made by a group of students based in the US and also students based in Greenland. And I believe the format of this will be a little different. The students will share what they did, and then they're going to direct you to a product they created to explore for a few minutes online. And then we'll come back for a wrap up. So go ahead and turn it over to the sound group.
Hi everyone, my name is Helena and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. And so we took a bit of a different approach, as Lauren explained. Instead of collecting traditional field data, we did a more abstract project and where we incorporated a bit of the arts and recorded and analyzed sounds in our environment. So we are the Sound Research Group, or the Joint Sounds Enable Progress Group. So earlier in the week, as part of one of our JSEP tickets that we complete each evening, we were asked if we speak any languages other than English. Some people spoke 2 languages, some people spoke 3 languages, some people even spoke 7 languages. But all of you answered wrong. You all speak one more language, and to all of our guests, you speak one more language too, and that's the language of sound. Next slide. So we have this quote by Hildegard Westerkamp, and she's a Arctic scientist. And it's, "I hear the soundscape as a language with which places and societies express themselves. In the face of rampant noise pollution, I want to be understanding and caring of this language and how it is spoken." Next slide.
The first step into hearing what is spoken is to be quiet and let it speak for itself. To make it heard, we decided to make a sound map, which is a representation of different environments and locations. With sound maps, you can travel the world just by listening to our recordings.
We went to record specific we went to record specific places that are close to us here in Kangerlussuaq. We drove and hiked to different places such as the ice shelf, Russell Glacier, to the rivers, and to the airport, which are the loudest man-made sounds here in Kangerlussuaq. The reason we decided on those locations is because they are the most exciting places where we are. They are also unique because there isn't a lot of places you can hear these specific sounds being spoken. Some also edited their recordings to remove themselves from the sounds, such as the sniffles and mumblings. Next slide, please.
Hi, my name is Urmila, and I'm going to talk about more about our sound map. You can go to the next slide, by the way. We use spectrograms to help visualize our sound data. And basically what a spectrogram is it uses different colors that corresponds to certain frequencies of sounds. So we get this visual representation of what's going on in the sound that we recorded.
Hi, I'm Elise, and I'll also be talking about this. So the picture on the bottom left is one of the spectrogram recordings that we took. The pink lines represent distinct sounds and higher frequencies of sound. So for example, these lines that you can see are a bird call. You can see the sort of musical pattern of the noises that they make. And the picture on the right is another representation of a spectrogram, but this one was created with higher quality equipment and microphones that we didn't have access to. But you can also see again the pink frequencies representing the sound around us. Next slide, please. So why do we use spectrograms? Since we are visual processors, it helps represent our data in a visual way. Similarly, we aid our studies and data with graphs and charts, and it helps us analyze the various calls of animals around us, and it highlights patterns and outliers.
So the 2 spectrograms at the bottom were both taken at the same location, but one was taken in the morning and the other in the afternoon. And you can see in the morning there are more high-pitched frequency sounds than in the afternoon, and those are because in the morning there are more bird calls. So it goes to show that these spectrograms are really helpful in aiding like seeing the visual patterns over a course of time. Next slide.
So there are these things called sound walks, and there are two different kinds of sound walks. There's a narrative sound walk and a non-narrative sound walk. And in general, a sound walk is a guided walk that focuses on listening to a specific environment. And in a narrative sound walk, the listener is guided by listening to someone else's voice, and they explain the sounds being heard and maybe the person's personal connection to the sound. And a non-narrative sound walk is the same thing, just without words. And you can hear what the person or where the person is walking, like the leaves crunching under their feet or something like that. And it's just another way to connect to the environment. Next
Elise, do you want to jump in?
Yeah,
Elise is our understudy, everyone, just in case.
So there are 3 different types of sound. So first we have keynote sounds, which are sounds that are created by a landscape and its elements. And then we also have signal sounds, which are often man-made sound events that we listen to actively. So cars going down the street, airplanes above you, stuff like that. And then we have sound mark sounds, which are a sound that is specifically noted or regarded by that community. So in each of our communities, something that we're really used to, like a specific bird call that we always hear in the morning, etc. And we recorded some sound mark sounds that are going to be a part of our sound map. Next slide.
This topic is intended to demonstrate the effect humans have on our environment through noise pollution by contrasting environments with noise pollution to environments with little to no noise pollution. We combined recordings of natural sounds with recordings of unnatural sounds.
Hi, my name is Daniel, and I'll also be presenting this slide. I'm from Florida. And just as Ms. Westerkamp said at the beginning of the presentation, in her quote, noise pollution is a huge issue. Humans are accustomed to the sounds of nature, and not hearing those sounds is kind of jarring for us. Therefore, we were able to distinguish a human sound from a natural sound, and this is an observation we wanted to reflect in our sound map. And as seen by the pictures, we even try to imitate the natural sounds, but it's not as kind to the ears. Next slide, please.
So hi, I'm Charlotte, and I'm going to be talking about another aspect of our sound map, which is our recordings that show time passing. So the sound map we created includes them over a period of a day, but often they are used to show how sounds change in the same location over months or even years. So it's a tool that can be used to determine what factors are affecting the natural environment, like noise pollution from human interaction, and also to learn about natural patterns through different seasons and times of day. So some animals are active only at night, or sounds can be different with the presence of crunching leaves in October or snow in January. So it is a tool for analyzing these changes and the amount of change in one climate or environment compared to another. Next slide, please.
Hi, I'm Aya, and I'm from New Hampshire, and I'm going to be talking about the overall purpose. So our JSEP map acts as a multi-purpose application focusing on entertainment, education, and research. So why does the JSEP sound map matter? Travel can be expensive, and the emissions hurt the environment. The JSEP sound map empowers people by giving them the opportunity to transport themselves around the country and even internationally to Greenland without having to pack their bags, pay money, or harm their environment. We are also fortunate enough to have such a wide range of locations within our team to help display all the different unique environments and cultural sounds. In addition, this project has multiple different functions which have been shown throughout this presentation. So how can sound prove and provide new information about climate change? Our hope is that future scientists can use our soundscape to listen to the past and notice the differences over the years. Climate change can be proven through the fact that the world's soundscapes are changing for the worse. Diversity and natural noise are slowly fading and being replaced by artificial mechanical noise pollution. So last but not least, with everything that's going on right now, coronavirus does not have to stop travel. Please use this for your enjoyment and take a look at our map. Some notes are, don't forget to use a computer for easy and efficient access, and zoom in on specific locations because there will be multiple audios in what might sound like one spot. Thank you so much for listening.
So in the chat, Clara Allison, the mentor for this group, has posted a link. So we want everyone to take about the next 4 to 5 minutes to go visit this sound map, listen to this product that the students have created, and then I'll call everyone back in about 4 or 5 minutes. And I think the group has a couple of concluding thoughts, and then there will be time for questions. So for now, just go to the sound map. You may want to mute your microphone and check out this really cool website. Okay, I hate to disrupt all of the listening going on, but I would like to ask everyone to rejoin for a wrap up of this presentation, and you can continue exploring the sound map at the end of the presentations. So I'll turn it back over to the sound group for a few closing remarks.
Thank you. Our map will stay up online, and we hope that you guys spend more time looking at it. We just wanted to say, although JSEP was challenging this year because we all had to be separated and we couldn't be together in Greenland, we utilized the different locations to our advantage, and we're so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much for listening, and we're open to any questions.
And Natalie, if you could unmute us for a final round of applause for the sound group and also just for everyone.
Yay!
Ooh.
Very well done. And I want to leave a little bit of time too for any questions for the sound group. There's one question for the sound group, if they have any data on how sound affects mental health and environmental health.
I mean, it's not necessarily like environmental sound, but for the mental health, like part of the question, I know when like usually more environmental, like natural sounds are like calming, and it's like proved to help you be more mindful and stay in the moment rather than a lot of mechanic sounds and a lot of like human made sounds that can be very distracting and overwhelming. And I know can like are actually proved to cause anxiety. So I think that's just another like reason why it's important to like connect with nature. And I think that's what all of these presentations have kind of been about.
Yeah, in addition, for environmental health, like noise pollution is definitely a huge problem. Not only does it like distance us from nature in many ways, it can also like affect any animals living in the area. So yeah, like trying to prioritize like having less noise and like saving time for more quiet natural sounds is definitely a good thing.
I know do you think you captured any changes due to COVID? I think because there have been less humans outside, we definitely have been hearing more wildlife, especially in my own backyard. The animals are coming out more and we can hear them. And then also there were like places like parks that I wanted to visit and record sounds, and unfortunately they were closed due to coronavirus. So it's been affecting us, but we've made it work.
Thank you, Aya. There's one last question. Do you plan to add more sounds to the map throughout the year?
That's such a good idea, definitely. We have to figure out how to add them, like, since we aren't going to be like in a program, but yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about it, but honestly, that'd be super sick. And if we can get, we sent out a call to like all of the JSEP participants asking for people to send in their sounds. And I know a lot of people were busy like doing their own thing, so they didn't get a chance to, but it'd be cool if we could get even more from like, across the country.
Yeah, we can definitely work on making this open source if people are interested.
And it would also be cool to add more sounds because it'll be over a greater span of time, because what we have here was only like 2 days. So if we had more sounds over, like say if we continue this into like next year, with JSEP next year, it could actually like indicate some type of environmental change, perhaps.
And with our Danish students, we'll get even more diversity if they can send us some recordings from Denmark, because I know some of them live in Copenhagen or really small towns, and that's a place that like not many of us have heard, which I think is really interesting.
And while we have such an amazing network of JSEP alumni here too, again, it's so wonderful to see so many familiar names. If you're interested in contributing to the project, get in touch, because it would be really fun to build this out and make it an ongoing JSEP project. So we are out of time. I just want to say these presentations were fabulous and very inspiring. And I hope before you all leave this room, you spend a few minutes scrolling through the chat. There's some really great feedback, more questions, lots of interaction. I think that I'm getting the sense the audience is very interested in everything you've had to say. So Natalie, if you can unmute us for one more round of applause.
Yay.
Woo, 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 woo. Amazing. Amazing.
Very well done. And so this concludes our JSEP 2020